This is really fun edge design featuring loops that are connected through one another. On this video, I'll teach you how to do the strip loops edge. I'll be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. So for this design, you're going to start with a foundation chain that's a multiple of 6 plus 4. In my case, I have 16 chains. We're going to begin with row 1. For row 1, we're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So you skip the first one and into the next, do a single crochet. And for this row, we just want to do single crochets all the way to the end. So go into each chain with a single crochet, and I'll see you when you're done. I've just done a single crochet into each chain, and this here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to start with a chain 1 and flip your work. We're going to work one single crochet into each stitch all the way to the end. Just go into the top of the stitch, doing a single crochet into each stitch all the way down. I'll do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, this here is the end of row 2, one single crochet into each stitch. We're going to move on to row 3. For that, we're going to chain 1 and flip your work. You're going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch. So into the very first stitch, just a slip stitch. And now we're going to start the row repeat. The repeat starts by chaining 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now you're going to be doing a slip stitch into the third chain from the hook. So you skip 1, 2, 3 into that third chain, insert your hook, and do a slip stitch. And now we're going to do a slip stitch into each of the remaining chains. So go into each chain, insert your hook, and then pull through all the way. That's my slip stitch there. I'm going to do one into each chain. All the way down. This is going to give us that like cord that we want. And this is the last chain that I have, so my last slip stitch goes into there. Okay, and I've created this little cord here. Now we're going to do a slip stitch into the next single crochet. Okay, now we're going to do that again. We're going to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now you're going to do a slip stitch to the third chain from the hook. So skip 1, 2, and into the third, a slip stitch. And now we do those slip stitches all the way down. Into each one of the chains, insert your hook, and pull through to close. Okay, last chain here, insert my hook and slip stitch. And now I'm just going to do a slip stitch to the next single crochet. Okay, so you've created these two tails here. And now we're going to create those like circles that closes it all together. So make sure you have your tails behind you here. We're going to grab this first tail and you're going to insert your hook through the chain 2 space at the top. You know those 2 chains that you skipped? So you're going to insert your hook through there. And now you're going to go into the next stitch of the base, into the next single crochet, insert your hook. And now basically you're just going to do a slip stitch. So you just pull through all, like everything on your hook here. Oh, 1 second, I lost it. Let me do that again. I'm going to go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull through everything. So pull through the top of the cord and then through that stitch. Now you can kind of adjust it, but now this is going to give you this loop here. Now we're going to grab the other tail, the one that we did previously. You're going to pass it through this loop that you just created. And now we're going to go again and insert our hook into that chain 2 space at the top of it. The 2 chains that you skipped. It could be tight, but go into the top of there. And into the next stitch, into the next single crochet of the base, insert your hook and do your slip stitch through all of this. And this is going to create these 2 loops that are kind of, you know, going through one another. Very cool. And let's see here. Now we're going to do a slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches. So go into the next single crochet with a slip stitch. That's 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. This is the end of the repeat. Now you just go back to the beginning of the repeat. I'll do it again with you. The repeat starts with a chain 12. Now we're going to do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. So you skip 1, 2, and into the next a slip stitch. And now you'll do a slip stitch into each chain all the way down. I'm going to do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just did those slip stitches. Now we do a slip stitch into the next stitch of the base. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to chain 12. Now you do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. So you skip 1 and 2 and into the next do a slip stitch. Now you do a slip stitch into each chain all the way down. So slip stitches all the way to the end. I'll see you when you're done. Okay, so we have those cords again. I've just done my slip stitches along the chain, but now we still have to do 1 slip stitch into the next stitch of the base. And now from here, we're going to create those loops. So you're going to make sure that your tail's behind you. Now insert it at the very top of that chain 2 space. Now into the next stitch of the base and then pull through everything. Just pull through, creating your first loop. Grab your tail from before and insert it through this loop that you just created. Now you're going to grab it with your hook. And now you're going to go into the next stitch with a slip stitch and pull through everything, creating those loops that are like intertwined. And there you have it. That is the end of the design. To finish off the repeat, you just do a slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches, which will take you to the very edge. So 3 slip stitches, that's 1, 2, and 3. And that is the end. If you have more stitches to go, then you would go ahead and repeat that from the beginning of the repeat, which is that chain 12 to create the first cord. And then repeat that however many times you need. When you're done, cut off your yarn and thread your ends through. Okay, look how cool this looks. I think this was really funky. I like it a lot. Having those, loops that are connected through one another. Super pretty. This is just a small sample for you to look at it, but of course, it'd look better if you make, a longer edge. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.